didn't tell me you hit record, Jolene.
Sorry.
Eddie Money. 2 tickets to paradise.
Not 3.
Not 3, just 2. So you got to work that out. You and your guitar, you and your woman, your old lady. Of course, it'd be the old lady.
What are you calling old?
You know. Anyways, all the parts I just played, that's what we're going to work on. It's standard tuning. This goes out to subscriber/student Frank. And it's got some cool stuff. There's a lot of things, a lot of cool little elements in here. Some elements of funk. We're working on some solo parts and some chords, beat placement, all that stuff. So let's go ahead and do it. Let's do it. So we're going to start with I don't have the exact effect on it, especially on the solo, but I don't have my foot switch hooked up for the effect unit, so bear with it. 6, 7, 9 on the G. Hit the 9 twice. So another thing too, this isn't Metallica distortion, so turn your gain down to probably 4, and we're going between clean and distortion with this. And yeah, let's do it. 6, 7, 9, 9. 7, 7. 6, 6. Slide to 4. Pick the 4. So we have. Pick that twice and slide to 2. And pick the 2 as soon as you get there. And then grab the 4G, do a whole step bend. Remember, a whole step bend would mean it's 2 frets, so you're, in this case you're bending a B to a C sharp. Good way to test that is to play 2 frets higher than the note that you're bending. There's your C sharp or D flat. We're bending the B note to that. Alright, so start it over. But this time, when you finish out on the 4th fret, go ahead and play it. So then we're going to pick, hammer, pull, 4, 6, 4, and then slide that the 2 over to 2 and pick as soon as you get there. Don't let the slide ring the A note. You're going to pick it. So that's the first part. Obviously there's multiple guitars in here. There's more than 2. I think there's 3 actually. So we have okay, switch channels to clean. And it's hard to hear the particulars in it. I worked on this with my student on Skype, and I was doing, I believe, a major chord. Now I said there's multiple guitars, but I went to a different version. They were both studio versions, and I could hear more of an octave funk style. It's got some fret hand muting and stuff. Really, the kind of the beat placement and groove is what you're going for. I have to give you a guide to follow, so we're going to do that. But that's how funk is. It's about the groove of it. Not exactness and everything, but we need an exactness so you have a model to follow. So if you get it on one of them, it's going to be G octave, G root and our G octave, 3E, muted A, and 5D. Now make sure you're muting the A, not pushing it down. You don't want to hear 3 notes. It's got to be. And I'm also muting the G. And I'm also muting the B and E with this index because it's a funky thing, and it's not like he's going, you know what I mean? So you want that assurity of muting. For more on that, moron, get it? That's good, huh? But that, psh. On the website, on my website, rockinguitarlessons.com, the lesson of the week, I just wrapped up a 2-month series of how to be a cleaner guitar player, and it's focusing on muting that exact thing, so you can get a lot more detail on the website. Like that little plug there, don't you? That was nice, huh? That's cool. Just don't tell them. Alright, so we're going down, down, fret hand mute, down, up. Now fret hand muting, you release the pressure off the octave, drop a couple fingers in between to get a nice solid mute. If you use 1 or 2 fingers, it's you can get natural harmonics. You don't want that. You want fret hand. Solid funk mute. Actually, we're going to go do a triplet mute, down, up, down. Do an upstroke on the octaves, fret hand mute, down, up, hit the octaves, and then a down, up, fret hand mute. I know it seems like a game of Simon. For you older cats, you know what I'm talking about. You gotta follow, but I want to give you guys the mold for it, okay? Because you gotta have something to follow. You know, one thing you can listen for is the punches of the octaves. And you're filling those gaps with muting. There's different ways to approach it. That's 2 times through. You're going to do the same thing using an A root with the octave, which would be basically just, not basically, but exactly moving this a whole step to 5 and 7. Do the same thing 2 times through. Doing that twice. Sorry about the effect, it's really a little warbly here. Back to the G's. Up to the A's. You're going to go 1 time through on that strum progression. And then just go. See. Down, down, fret hand mute, down, up. And that's going to lead you into the that. So up to time here. Once again, there's multiple guitars. That one keeps going, but I wanted to show you guys this lead melody here because it's the hook. The vocals are following it as well. And it's simple. 6G, hammer to 7. Pick the 6G, 7D, and 5D. So we have, that's the waited so long, that's the melody. 3, 4, 1, 2. And then the second one is 6 hammer to 7 on the G, back to 6G, and then 7, 7D. Okay, that's going to go 2 times. Double dots. 3, 4, 1, 2. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Now, in the intro, I just went through the parts. I didn't play them in order, so you've got some repeat stuff going on for sure. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, because it doesn't go to the chorus yet. I think you'll end up going back to the intro melody. Right, Joe?
Yep,
back to the intro melody?
90210 part.
I know. And then you'll go back through the funk part, the percussive section. Okay, so you go through all that. The next part is the chorus, and then I'll show you part of the solo. And the chorus is this. Oops. Yeah, so it's D, G, and A. Here's what happens. Look for pieces to subgroup. D, G, A. 2, 3, 4. D, G, G, A. The second one had the double GG, right? Double GG. That's going to go 3 times. So the first time is just 1, 1, 1, and then 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1. Here's it, the whole thing. D major. Actually, hold on, let me show you the chords. 2, 3, 2, open from the bottom up. Take that thumb and mute the low E and then just hit them. G major. Leave that third finger down if you can. It's a good transition pivot point to go from D to G. And then you add the pinky to 3E, middle to 3E, and first finger to 2A. It's a 4-finger G major. One time, and we're resting in between, right? I gotta turn the effects off. Just gotta do it. Maybe just throw some reverb. Yeah. Go ahead. Raw! Oh yeah! God of thunder!
Mike has dolls in his studio.
And rock and roll!
Grown man with dolls in here.
Where's his bass?
I don't know.
I think someone stole it. Alright, so D, G to A major. And these are all your standard open position forms. Open A, 222, D, G, B, and open high E. Make sure you're not muting out that high E. There's a time to mute, there's a time to not mute. Alright, so 2, 3, 4 again, twice. 2, 3 again. 3 again. Alright, then the solo. Well, it'll go back to the intro. Then second time. So there's ways around that, but you know, it's another day in the neighborhood. 7 to 9 on the G, slide, and then pick. And then 7, slide to 9. That's our first subgroup. Stay where you're at. Pick the 9G, hammer to 11. Middle finger 10B. 9G, hammer pull to 11, back to the 9. And then pick the 10B. You'll be hearing him as a double stop, so you'll have 2 notes at the end, right? So let's get that part. Middle finger 9G, slide to 11. 10B twice. Back to 11G. So 10B, hammer to 12. 10B, 11G. And then repeat that. So we have. Oops. Almost done, fellers. So 12B, whole step bend. Stop it. Go back. Do a bend release pull off to 10. So 11G. So and then 12D or 12B upstroke pull off to 10. 11G, 10B, 12B, 12B bend, vibrato. So we have. Right? Then love that part because a lot of blues players do this. He's doing a 1.5 bend. Earlier we were talking about whole steps being 2 frets. A 1.5 would be 3 frets. Bending a C or a B to a D note. Stevie Ray Vaughan was a master at that. Alright, that's our target note. Stop it. Go back. Do a whole step now. So we're bending to a D, then we're bending to a C sharp. And then just pick 12 without bending. So you're basically emulating 10B, 11G, 10B, 12B, 12B bend. And I'll show you these next couple notes. 12E, 1.5 bend, 3 fret bend, and then 12, 10E. I think that's the next part. I'll just show you that too. 12B, bend release, pull off to 10. 11G, tin B. Oops. Kind of a Jimmy Page style riff. So, oops. Isn't that cool, Joe?
That's very cool.
It's awesome. Okay, so anyways, this video is about to wrap up.
When you do a bend and you say a half a bend or a full step bend, is that based on ear? Like, does somebody ear have to
Yeah, and that's why I will give them the note. And if you got to bend a step and a half from the 12th fret, that's your target.
Well, what if it's a half bend? You just
Half
have to
step
kinda,
bend is a 1 fret.
You just have to hope that you're close, or do you have a way to reference
You
it?
gauge it because guitar is set up in half step
So you've got a way to
increments.
gauge.
Yeah, but if
Okay.
it's a quarter step,
You're screwed.
no, it's half the distance of a half step. You don't have a note to gauge it off of per
You just
se.
gotta hope that your ear.
Yeah, the difference between, it's like for your vocal teacher, when you slur,
Yes.
you're not jumping in half steps going, You're slurring, which means,
You're just,
yeah,
you're
it's
just
like
gliding on up.
gliding up. Good way to put it. So anyways, I'm glad you asked that.
Thank you.
And that's why I like to give you guys the target note so you can practice doing that. That's what I was working with Frank tonight on. Because after a while, you won't have to even guess and go, ooh, is it there? Of course, you use your ear, but you'll get used to the feel of how far it takes the string to bend to achieve a step and a half bend.
Does each guitar feel different on that too?
A little bit.
Obviously,
They vary in the
strings?
size of strings,
Yeah.
gauge of strings. If you have a thicker string, it's going to obviously take more pressure. So I'm a wimp. I like the lighter gauge strings. Always have. Anyways, my email, mike@rockinguitarlessons.com. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Take your time, man. Subgroup it. There's more than one concept to learn in one lesson. And that's why I like to bring up, we got the funk element with the fret hand muting, step and a half bends, step bends, bend release pull-offs, sliding, octaves, the fret hand muting, did I mention that? The major chords, there's so many things involved, and that's why I want you guys to fine tune it. Don't rush through it. Focus in on a part until it comes together for you right now over me.
Come together
Yeah.
right now.
Okay, so anyways, my website's rockinguitarlessons.com. Of course, if you'd like to join and become a member, the prices are there for you. I would love it if you joined, and like I said, we just wrapped up a two-month series on how to become a cleaner guitar player, and it's really, at the end of the day, it comes down to muting, both hands. Typically the fret hand, but both hands. And there's tons of examples that I've used in those 8 weeks of lessons through scales and strumming and chord progressions and mixing the two together.
So you're gonna do 8 weeks of how to become a dirtier guitar player now?
Yeah.
To dirty it up a little
Yeah,
bit.
we'll go back to the 80s. I do teach privately on Skype, guitar and bass, and Jolene, you don't want to come in here, huh?
No makeup, guys.
No makeup.
I can wave.
There's her hand of the vocal teacher. She teaches on Skype as well, and there's a tutorial from her and me on the website. If you're interested, check it out there. The price breakdowns, all that good stuff is there, and it's really a fun way to go. We can set up a time schedule, a time slot that works for you. Typically, it's each week or bi-weekly. I also offer CVT lessons, custom video tablature lessons. If your schedule is so busy where you can't be pinned down to a set day, set time, and there's that song you've always wanted to get and you've wanted it right, or that solo, these are very detailed, handwritten tabs. Everything's time-stamped, subgrouped, sectioned off, and scan the tabs. My wife sends them to your email.
And you're the only person
'Cause I don't know how to
that
do
does
that.
it. You're the only person that does CVT lessons.
Yeah, man,
ever.
it's cool. I got a lot of CVT students
so
too. It's
cool.
awesome. And then I record a video lesson, and then you can have them, the timestamp thing's awesome because you can match up the tabs with where it is in the video.
It's basically Mike Gross's VIP service.
It's awesome, man.